The UAG Civilian with MagSafe was a beast last year. Very nice case. They came a little bit towards the end of the iPhone 13 life cycle, but this version for the 14 Pro Max is a sleeper. And it is one of the best cases out there, man, that I think a lot of people are going to let it gloss over their head, but I realized that I've been using it for a little bit. I've been kind of interchanging through a few cases, but this one right here, checks just basically all the boxes, man, almost with zero flaws. All right, so let's go ahead and get into it. So here it is, man, the UAG discrete protection civilian series for the iPhone 14 Pro Max. I don't know how many times I'm probably gonna say 13 Pro Max, but we trying to get there. All right, so this is gonna be their civilian case, man. This is one of the cases that I really like. Like I said, I loved it for the iPhone 13 series. It was a little bit late, but then now they're right on time when it comes to the 14. 20 feet of drop protection, 6 meters. You're flipping it over on the back. It says impact resistant bumpers, shock absorbing soft core, featherlight armor shell, and it is wireless charging compatible. All right, because you all know, as of late of the iPhone 13 series, they have made their main cases MagSafe compatible, and that's what we love to see, man. Because let me hit a hashtag up in the comments if you're a part of the fam. Hashtag every case needs MagSafe. All right, so let's go ahead and step around the case. As you can see, the first thing that's just smacked in the face with is going to be those MagSafe magnets. Always love to see those. You're going to have that core design that they have on the inside. Flipping over on the back, this is going to be your signature civilian look. All right, you're going to get urban armor gear, except a few of the words are abbreviated to kind of make this nice uniform layout. Now, this is going to be a hard type plastic, very slick. That's kind of the one thing that I really kind of two things that I kind of like, I wish they would improve just a little bit, but we'll talk about a little bit more as we step through it. But yeah, this is going to be more of a hard shell plastic right here. So whether you like that type of material, it is what it is. You know, I think we'll talk about it. We'll keep going around it. But let's go ahead and slap the phone in. Let's not actually pause. Let's not do that. Let's go ahead and grab our scale. And yes, my scale is all beat up. If you didn't see my previous video, my son put the candle, and that's candle wax. That's all that is right there. But let's go ahead and throw the UAG Civilian with Mag on the actual scale. So it is going to be 41 grams. All right. So this case right here is not, I'm hitting the tripod and everything. This case is not a heavy case. This is a very light case. All right, very light, and that's what we like to see when we are talking about pairing it with the iPhone 14 Pro Max. All right, so let's go ahead and slap it up in and let's see what we are working with. So here is the case on that space black iPhone 14 Pro Max, if that's kind of the look that you're going for. So let's go ahead and step around it. Let's see what we got going on. So on that top side, going to be completely closed. On that right side with these, you do get a little air slit when it comes to the button, but the buttons are very nice and tactile. Absolute perfect buttons. No issue at all when it comes to those buttons. Coming along down here, man, you get kind of like a rubber type texture right here. This is not this same hard type plastic. This right here is more of a rubber, which is going to give you a little bit of better grip. Flipping over on the bottom, you can see you do have those accurate speaker cutouts there. You do get 2 lanyard holes. I want to say that's what you can probably do with those. I'm hoping you can probably loop a lanyard through it because dust can get into those parts, man. But hopefully that's just a lanyard hole and you're good to go. Flipping it over on that left side, volume up and down buttons, absolutely perfect. No flaws at all. Getting to that mute toggle switch, it's a little bit tight in there, but you can get to it just fine without many issues. And flipping it over on the back, you see that camera lip is raised over the cameras, so you're definitely good when you're talking about putting it on the ground or anything like that. Your cameras are protected because you know the iPhone 14 Max has those thick camera lenses, but don't worry, you are going to be protected. All right, so let's take a look at that lay on the table protection. Now you already know I'm rocking the tempered glass screen protector, and even with that screen protector, all right, I don't know why my camera always freaks out for this angle. With this screen protector, man, it has a lip that goes all the way around it. So when you put it face down, you're definitely good to go. You're not worried about scratching your screen. That just sounds horrible because I'm over rubbing that part over my desk. But when you set it down, you're good to go. If it was the face face down, I think you'll be good to go also, because when it comes to the screen, right here and right here are actually kind of like rubber. All right, so these right here, where the rest of it may be, the material just feels a little bit different when it comes to that top and when it comes to that bottom. So you'll definitely be good when we are talking about any face first laying down type protection. All right. Now, next up, how does this case fit on the phone? Now, we already know when it comes to UAG cases, man, the fit is going to be A1, and that's where this case excels when we are talking about the fit. All right. So when you put it up top, barely, I mean, that snaps right back. So very stiff. Come along the sides with the buttons. Of course, you're going to have a little bit of pull there. Other than that, No more pull going all the way around it. All right, this is going to be absolutely perfect. Even down here, very stiff material. You really got to pull it. If you look at my finger, you really have to pull this to get this to move. Everyday tugging, no issues at all. This case fits super tight, but you can still get it off very easy. All right, a lot of cases fit tight and it's a pain that you know what to try to remove it, but this, it fits tight, but you can pop these corners off just fine. But this is an A1 fit. All right, I've used this case for about a day, a little bit less than a day. Didn't have any issues with it, man. Everything just checks all the boxes when it comes to a case, man. And how does this case feel in your hands? If you're familiar with the UAG Civilian for the 13 Pro Series last year, it had a little bit of thickness to it, not a bunch. I love the way the UAG slimmed this down, all right? They slimmed this case down to make this a very thin case, all right? And that's the reason why I really like this Civilian. It makes it a thin case. It may make your phone feel a little bit wider in hand, all right? I know a lot of people don't like phones to feel wider in hand. This case does widen things up a little bit, but it's not bad, all right? Maybe me, because I just have big hands. It isn't bad when you're talking about in the hand, all right? And then when it comes to grip, in my opinion, I don't think the grip is bad, because this, kind of slick material could have been on the sides, but on the sides, they chose to use rubber, and I can get with that, all right? The rubber actually feels good, and I feel like it does give you a little bit of grip in that context. Now, the only thing, like I said, I have with this, these are my things that I don't like about the case. It's not really a don't like, it's things that I wish could be improved, and hopefully UAG can see this video and take a little bit of notes. But this material back here, I'm not saying that it can get pretty slippery, all right? And then my other concern is, how will it show scratches and wear and tear over time? Because now this is very, very faint, all right? But there's like a scratch right here. You really probably can't see it, but it's already a scratch that I don't know if I can rub out. You know what I mean? With this being kind of a harder plastic, I feel like when it comes to bumping against different textures and different, if you have another case with kind of a texture back, I feel like I can either set it down like on a brick, a brick seat or something like that, and it won't really scratch it. But I feel like if I set this down on something that's very hard that could potentially scratch this, it will scratch. You know what? In this case, it's $60. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm not saying that it's not worth $60, but I'm going to actually include that category into my case reviews at this point at the very end, whether if you should buy it or not. But this right here, this is the only thing that little concerns me about the longevity of the case, how this does with coming in contact with different surfaces. That's basically what I'm saying. And then let's go ahead and bring your MagSafe charging over here. Let's go ahead and test out MagSafe strength. You already know it works just fine with MagSafe strength, but I wish the strength was a little bit stronger, all right? It's not terribly weak. It's not going to pick up this base. And for those who've been watching me for some time, if you pick up this base, you have pretty strong magnets. It's not picking up this base, all right? But it does have a nice little pull to it. So I wouldn't say it's super weak. On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the most strong, 1 being the least strong, I'm going to put this at about a 5 or a 5.5, 6. All right, it's medium. It's like medium road when it comes to this case. All right, now let's go ahead and bring some MagSafe accessories over here. So if you got the Apple MagSafe battery pack, pop in the Apple MagSafe battery pack. Is it going to come off fairly easy? I rub it like this, it's not going to knock off fairly easy. So even with this type of texture, which is very hard on MagSafe accessories for them to really stay on because it's so slick, and I feel like the friction against the actual product itself may rub off, this is actually staying on tack pretty good. You really have to want to move this off for it to pop off. This is why I'm telling you the magnets are not as weak as maybe I make it seem. They're pretty decent. You see what I'm saying? So that's the Apple MagSafe battery pack. If you use the Apple Wallet, then that's what you can rock with as well. Do I trust the Apple Wallet on this case? I would say, yeah, you really got to purposely kind of move it, but just brushing it up against your pocket, doing different things like that, it can come off, but you do feel that magnet kind of pop on to give you a little bit more of a confident snap when it comes to this, all right? So, buy or no? That's the new context that we're going to do when we're talking about buy it or no. For $60, for this case, I feel like it's an absolute buy because I feel like UAG just checks all the boxes. And the things that I'm commenting on are things that some people might not even care about. It's some people out there who don't even care about MagSafe, who just wants a solid case to give them that protection without being too bulky. That's where this UAG civilian with MagSafe comes directly in place. So my opinion, I would go out there and buy. This is an instant buy for me. I really like what UAG has done, and I really like the improvements that they did over the 13 Pro Max's version. All right, so you already know links for this will be down in the description below. You can grab it on Amazon. You can go to the UAG website directly. You never know, there may be a little discount code over on their website, so check them out. I'll be sure to give you both options down there in the description below. I got plenty of other UAG cases as well. All right, don't worry about it. We're going to get into the rest of the lineup, and stay tuned to the channel. Get subbed up. Y'all be safe. Catch you on the next one. Later.